Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Conceptual Genetics and Breeding. In this video, we will discuss about cytoplasmic inheritance. So before discussing cytoplasmic inheritance, we will discuss what is Mendelian inheritance. Okay, so when we were discussing about Mendel's laws of inheritance, we know that when the characters or the genes, they transfer from parental generation to F1 generation or the offspring generation, then the characters they transfer from both the parents. Okay, so you know that when we are crossing capital A with small a type of plant, or we can say this is a female plant and this is a male plant. So in their F1 you will found capital A small a type of plants. Okay, so these are the F1 generation or the offspring generation. Okay, so you know that half the genes will transfer from female parent and half the genes will transfer from male parent into the F1 plant. So this type of inheritance where both male and female parents they equally contribute into the F1 generation, or we can say the offspring generation or the children generation. This type of inheritance is known as Mendelian inheritance, and this Mendelian inheritance it follows the Mendel's laws of inheritance. We all know that Mendel gave us two laws. First is law of segregation and second one is law of independent assortment. Okay, so if you want to study about these laws, you can go in the playlist where we have separately made a video on the Mendel's laws of inheritance. Okay, so in these laws, either if you are making a monohybrid cross, you will get 3:1 ratio in the F2 generation, and if you are making a dihybrid cross, you will get 9:3:3:1 ratio. Okay, monohybrid cross is basically a cross in which we make cross between female and male plant by taking a single character or a single gene. Okay, so in this type of cross, this is your F1 generation, and when you will go selfing of these F1 plants, you will found these three type of plants. Okay, in the ratio 3:1. Okay, so these are three plant, 1 2 and 1. Okay, so you will get 3:1 ratio in the monohybrid cross, and in dihybrid cross you will get 9:3:3:1. So basically the Mendelian inheritance, it is followed by the genes which are present inside the nucleus. Okay, it is the basic requirement that those genes which are present inside the nucleus, they will show Mendelian inheritance. So you all know that it is a eukaryotic cell, for example, in which you know that a separate nucleus is present, and inside nucleus, if you will see the nucleus, there will be numerous chromosomes, and we all know that chromosomes they are made up of DNA and proteins. Okay, so this DNA, it is the genetic material, and you all know that on the DNA genes are reside. Okay, genes are present on the DNA, and this DNA, it is, you know that these chromosomes are made up of DNA and gene are the segment of DNA. So one gene and another gene and another gene, they are all present in the DNA. Okay, on the DNA. So likewise the gene which are present in the nucleus, they all show Mendelian inheritance. Okay, whatever the gene is present on these chromosomes, here it is a chromosome, these chromosomes are present in the nucleus. So the nuclear gene, we can say these are the nuclear genes because these genes are present inside this nucleus. Okay, so these nuclear genes, they show Mendelian inheritance. Okay, so the gene showing Mendelian inheritance, they are located on the chromosome which are present inside the nucleus. Okay, so these genes, because they are present inside the nucleus, they are known as nuclear genes or simply genes. Okay, so we denote simply the genes to the nuclear genes. Okay, so these genes, they show Mendelian type of inheritance. Okay, and we all know that what is Mendelian inheritance. So the genes, these are present inside the nucleus and they follow Mendel's laws of inheritance. So now we will discuss what is cytoplasmic inheritance, or we can say non-Mendelian inheritance. Okay. So in case of cytoplasmic inheritance, the characters of only one of the two parents is transmitted to the progeny. Most likely the female parent, it is going to contribute only the cytoplasmic genes into the F1 plant. For example, here you can see that this is the sperm, okay, and this is egg cell. So this is the female parent and this is the male parent. You all know that when fertilization occur, these both the egg cell in the female, this is the egg cell and this is the sperm cell, they will both unite and they will form the zygote. Okay, here it is zygote, and in this zygote, if you will see that the nuclear gene, this is the nucleus, this you can see here, it is the zygote which has been formed by the fusion of egg cell and sperm cell. So this is the nucleus, and in this nucleus the chromosome, or we can say the DNA, it will be contributed from both egg cell and from the sperm cell. Okay, the DNA, it will come from here, or we can say the chromosomes, they will come from here, and they will unite and form the zygote. Okay, but the cytoplasm, here it is the cytoplasm. You all know that in the cell, nucleus is there and outside it is the cytoplasm, and in this cytoplasm it will be contributed to the zygote. Okay, it is the zygote. In this zygote, this cytoplasm is only contributed by this egg cell. This sperm cell, it is not going to contribute any cytoplasm. Okay, so the genes which are present in the cytoplasm, they will come from female parent only to this zygote, and ultimately this zygote will form the embryo, and from this embryo the complete child or the complete offspring, it will going to develop. Okay, this is the natural process. So here in this zygote, the genes, the nuclear gene, they will come from both the egg cell and the sperm cell. But the cytoplasm, this is the cytoplasm. Okay, this cytoplasm is going to come only from female parent, from the egg cell. So inside this cytoplasm, there are mitochondria. Okay, so these mitochondria, they also have genes. Okay, like for example, here in the nucleus, you all know that chromosome is there, and on chromosome genes are there. Okay, so these genes are known as nuclear genes, but the genes which are present inside the mitochondria, they are known as cytoplasmic genes, and their inheritance is known as cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, so there is difference between Mendelian inheritance and cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, in cytoplasmic inheritance, only the cytoplasm, it will going to contribute into the zygote from egg cell, or we can say from female parent. So that's why the cytoplasmic inheritance, it is only from the female parent. So the whatever the character is there on the mitochondrial genes, okay, on the mitochondrial DNA, because mitochondria is having its own DNA. On the DNA, you all know that genes are present, and these genes, they are going to contribute to the next generation only from egg cell, or we can say only from female parent. So the Mendelian, non-Mendelian inheritance or the cytoplasmic inheritance, it is governed by only female parent. Okay, so this is the major difference between Mendelian inheritance and between non-Mendelian inheritance. In Mendelian inheritance, the nuclear genes will be contributed to the next generation from female parent as well as from male parent equally. Okay, but the cytoplasmic inheritance or non-Mendelian inheritance, the genes which are present in the cytoplasm, because mitochondria is present in the cytoplasm, so the gene which are present inside mitochondria, they are present in the cytoplasm. So this cytoplasm is going to contribute in the next generation only by egg cell. Okay, so the cytoplasmic inheritance will be only from the female parent side, okay, from the egg parent side. And that's why it is also known as extranuclear inheritance, extra chromosomal inheritance, or maternal inheritance. Because extranuclear is why, because these genes, they are present outside the nucleus, so they are known as extranuclear. Okay, extra chromosomal means the chromosomes present inside the nucleus, so this is from extra from the chromosomes. Okay, extra from the chromosomes, because this is the DNA which is present inside the mitochondria. Okay, so it is known as extra chromosomal and also maternal inheritance. Maternal inheritance means only from female side. So cytoplasmic inheritance takes place only from maternal side or the female side. Okay, or from female parent. So the genes which govern the cytoplasmic inheritance, they are present in the cytoplasm, basically outside the nucleus. Okay, and they are known as plasma genes, cytoplasmic genes, cytogenes, or sometimes extranuclear gene or extra chromosomal genes. So these are the various names which are given to the genes which are present inside this nucleus. As they are present inside the cytoplasm, so they are known as cytoplasmic gene or plasma gene. Okay, or sometimes cytogenes. Okay, and extra chromosomal, because they are present extra from the chromosome. Chromosomes are present in the nucleus and these genes are present in extra, okay, from the chromosomes, so they are known as extra chromosomal genes. And the sum total genes which are present in the cytoplasm of a cell is known as plasmon. So all the genes which are present in the cytoplasm, they are known as plasmon. So it is a separate term which is given to the genes which are present inside the cytoplasm. These genes are known as plasmon. So the gene which are present inside the mitochondria or inside the chloroplast. Okay, so because chloroplast, they are present in the plant cell. Okay, where they are present in the plant cell, we all know that. So also it is the nucleus. Suppose it is a plant cell and it is the nucleus. In nucleus, chromosomes will be present, you all know that. And in the cytoplasm, mitochondria will be present and also chloroplast will be present. And these chloroplasts, they have their own DNA molecule. And DNA is present, so gene will be present. So also these plasmon, they are present inside the mitochondria and also inside the chloroplast. Okay. And in the cytoplasm, genes are mainly present in the mitochondria, we have already discussed. And these genes which are present inside the mitochondria, they are known as chondrion. A separate term is given, that is chondrion. And if these genes are present inside the chloroplast, they will be known as plastome. Okay, so the plasmons, the all genes which are present inside the cytoplasm, they can be chondrion if they are present in the mitochondria, and they can be said as plastome if they are present in the chloroplast. Okay, so cytoplasmic inheritance, it is arises due to the plasma genes. We all know that plasma genes are present in the cytoplasm, those genes which are present inside the cytoplasm. So because it is the inheritance, it is the inheritance of the genes which are coming from mother side to their offspring. Okay, so their zygote and ultimately to their children. So because this is governed by the genes, the cytoplasmic genes, or we can say the plasma genes, and these plasma genes, they are present either in the chloroplast or in the mitochondria. So the cytoplasmic inheritance, it is arises due to the plasma genes which are located in the cellular organelles. What are those organelles? It is chloroplast and mitochondria. Okay. So the genes which are present in the chloroplast, they are known as either plastome or plastid DNA. Okay. And the DNA which is present inside the mitochondria, it is known as mitochondrial DNA. So the cytoplasmic inheritance, it is basically governed by plastid DNA and the mitochondrial DNA. Okay. So we will discuss the historical evidence for cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay. Some of the historical point which are important, which are firstly discovered, who the scientist who firstly discovered about the cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay. After the rediscovery of Mendel's law, basically, after that some scientists found that some characters, they do not follow the Mendel's rule. Okay, the Mendel's laws of inheritance. So for those characters, they began to research. Okay, and they found out that these characters, they do not follow the Mendel's laws of inheritance because they have cytoplasmic inheritance, because the genes for these characters, they are present inside the cytoplasm, not inside nucleus. Okay, nucleus, in nucleus they are not present, they are present in the cytoplasm in the form of mitochondrial DNA and chloroplast DNA. So they do not follow the Mendel's laws of inheritance, they follow cytoplasmic inheritance. So the first evidence of cytoplasmic inheritance, it was presented by Correns in Mirabilis Jalapa and by Burr in Pelargonium zonale in 1908. So these were the first evidence for cytoplasmic inheritance. Correns, he experimented in Mirabilis Jalapa, and Bohr he experimented in Pelargonium zonale in 1908, and they found out that some of the characters, they governed by cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, and they called it as plastid inheritance. Okay, they both said that it is a plastid inheritance because they found out the genes for these characters, they are present on plastid, means on chloroplast. Okay, inside the chloroplast, on chloroplast DNA. So they simply said it is plastid inheritance. Okay, after that in 1924, Jenkins described the iojap leaf variegation in maize, and he said that this variegation is due to cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay. After that in 1954, Ruth Sager, he described cytoplasmic inheritance of streptomycin resistance in Chlamydomonas. Okay. And he said it as uniparental inheritance. Uniparental means from only one parent. Okay. In case of Chlamydomonas, streptomycin resistance is only contributed from one parent. Okay, so that's why he said it is a uniparental inheritance. So these are some of the historical point of view which suggest that some of the genes which are present inside the cytoplasm, they do not follow Mendelian inheritance, they follow uniparental inheritance, like from female parent only, and this inheritance is known as cytoplasmic inheritance. So it is the case of streptomycin. You can see here that in case of streptomycin, if you found out there are two mating type, one is positive and one is negative. So basically positive is, it is streptomycin resistance, this one, and it is streptomycin susceptible. So when they both mate, it will be streptomycin resistant. Okay, this zygote will be streptomycin resistant because from this parent only this streptomycin resistance gene is going to transfer into the zygote. Okay, and if you found out that this is another mating type, here it is streptomycin resistance, if it is negative, and this one is positive. Okay, so inside it will be positive and it will be negative. Okay, so because it is negative, then at the time of zygote formation, this will transfer from here. This is streptomycin susceptibility. Okay, what is this? This is streptomycin susceptibility, and it will going to transfer from here to here. So at the time of zygote formation, you will observe that it will be streptomycin resistant and it will be streptomycin susceptible. Okay, so from here the nucleus is going to transfer this resistance will going to transfer, because here nucleus will transfer from here. So with this susceptibility will also going to transfer. Okay, and when the clones will present formed from here, you will observe that these all will be colonies of streptomycin of this Chlamydomonas, all will be streptomycin resistant, and colonies which will be developed from here, it will be the all colonies will be susceptible. Okay, so this is the example in case of Chlamydomonas. It was discovered by Ruth that the streptomycin resistance, it has cytoplasmic inheritance. So from where, which is the positive one, cytoplasm will be transferred from that only. Okay, because this is the positive and it is streptomycin resistant, so cytoplasm is coming from here, and ultimately it is going to transfer here. Okay, and it will form all colonies will be resistant. Okay, but in case of second type of mating, as the positive one is susceptible, here you can see that it is susceptible one, but it is positive, so cytoplasm will transfer from here, and ultimately it will give rise to susceptible colonies of this Chlamydomonas. Okay, so this type of inheritance, it is known as cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, so I hope this cytoplasmic inheritance is now clear to all of you now. In next video we will discuss what is like some of the example, like for example, this is the this example of Mirabilis jalapa. Okay, in next video we will discuss in detail how Correns experimented and found out that this Mirabilis jalapa, it has cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, so we will discuss this in detail in our next video. So I hope this topic is clear. Thank you so much.